What if I told you that the reason why you give up is not because you're lazy or lack discipline, but because subconsciously you really feel like you only have one chance to prove yourself? My name is Itohan, and in this video, I'm going to be walking you through why ambitious introverts in particular fall into this trap and what it takes to set yourself free from it. As introverts, we spend so much time planning and preparing and researching and thinking before actually doing what we have in mind to do. And most of the time, that actually puts us in a position where we want that first try to be flawless because we've already invested so much mentally that anything less than perfect is pretty much failure. And we know what this is called, right? Perfectionism. And the tricky thing is, it might look like there's nothing wrong with this mindset, right? Most of the time, it's very productive until it starts to make you abandon the things that you start on, until it starts to make you feel like what you're doing is not good enough or that you're not capable of doing something, right? It's almost as if we want this initial attempt, this first try, to prove to us something, prove to us that all of the time that it's taken, all of the mental energy that it has taken to get to this point was not wasted, to prove that it was all worth it. And so when we don't get that proof early on, we start to pull away and start to feel like our efforts are in vain. A question that got me thinking and really started to enlighten me on what the real reason was that I was quitting is this. If you started something and it was going the way you wanted it to, you were seeing the reward, you were seeing the payoff of what you were putting into it, and then all of a sudden it stops working. All of a sudden it doesn't look like things are being rewarding anymore. Do you just stop that and leave it alone? Do you just pull away because something stopped working? No. Most of the time we would want to understand what worked before and why it wasn't working again. We would want to understand what has changed in this situation for me to not be seeing the results that I was seeing. We tell ourselves we'll try again, but do something different. Why don't we use that same effort when we're starting things for the first time? Why don't we say, this isn't working the way I want it to? Instead of letting it go, try to figure out why it's not before throwing in the towel or before deciding that it's not a direction that you want to keep on going. Why don't we give ourselves second tries when it comes to the first attempt? What I noticed about my own experience was the problem wasn't with quitting. It was the fact that I wasn't leaving room for growth. As an engineer, I completely understand the importance of iteration. You don't just build something and expect it to be perfect. You don't just build something and expect it to work the way you want it to. You kind of expect mistakes. You expect errors. And so you're prepared for it. You're not prepared to give up if it doesn't work out. You're prepared to keep on going and figure it out. If we expect that from products, if we expect that from the work of our hands, why don't we give ourselves the same grace that we give our inventions, right? We need to start thinking of the things that we do with the mindset of refinement. That is going to remove the fear of failure that comes with the perfectionist mindset and kind of make you feel lighter, remove that weight and heaviness whenever you're going into doing something. When you think about it, it's almost as if we're expecting that first attempt, those initial stages, to do something that they weren't designed to do in the first place. We're expecting the first try to validate us, to tell us that we're good enough, but that's not its job. First tries and initial attempts are supposed to teach us. They're supposed to give us information, give us data that we use to move forward. I talk about the idea of having an evidence file in my other video, and I'm going to link it down in the description. But this is one of the ways where you collect data that you use as evidence of the things that you want to do in the future, of how you present yourself and how confident you are. So again, the first attempt is not supposed to validate you. It's supposed to give you information to move forward. This is where the audacity to try again comes into play. I've learned that the people that become really good at something, that become great at something, are the people that understand the purpose of the first try, like we've talked about. When you understand that, there is a boldness and a confidence that you take into that second try. It's not a thing of shame or uncertainty, but the audacity to actually move forward because your first try taught you what it was supposed to teach you. And I understand that as introverts, the word audacity can seem very reckless, but it doesn't have to be, right? There's a quietness in not even needing to announce whenever you're taking strides, whenever you're doing things again, that might actually be harder when you think about it. It's the audacity to look at the imperfect results from that first attempt and keep going regardless. And so instead of saying this didn't work and so I'm going to give up because it means that I'm not good at this, you start to see it as this didn't work, but that's okay. I can try again because I now have a lot more information than I did at the start to do something better in the next try. And I really want us to have this growth mindset about it, right? Understanding that everything that we do, even our abilities, it's not fixed. It actually gets better and is developed through effort. And so even for the things where you've been told that you're really good at this or you're really smart, you need to continue to have that growth mindset, because there might come a point where something that you used to do, something that used to work out perfectly for you, stops working. Then what do you do? If there's anything I want you to take away from this video, is that nobody really arrives at something great on the first try. It usually takes multiple tries. The first try is what it is. It is the starting point and not the destination. And so it should not be treated as such. The single most expensive thing you can do whenever you're starting something is to leave it alone or abandon it before it teaches you anything. Leave before you learn the lessons. Leave before you give it time to grow. See, every single thing that I've accomplished in my life has come from looking at something and trying to do it differently from how I've done it before, giving it something that I didn't give it previously. And that takes courage. That takes audacity, the audacity to try again. If you've enjoyed this video, I want you to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Feel free to comment down below if any part of this video resonated with you, or if you have anything else to share concerning this topic. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.
You see the world in so much color.